What if the first words you speak each morning are shaping the entire direction of your life, and you don't even realize it? Think about that for a second. The moment you open your eyes, before your feet even touch the floor, your mind is already listening. It's scanning, absorbing, deciding who you are and how you'll live this day. Most people don't take that seriously. They let old thoughts rush in like a broken dam. Regret, anxiety, self-doubt, fatigue, and without knowing it, they start every day with a quiet surrender. But you're not most people. You're here because something inside you knows there's more. More strength, more purpose, more life. And it starts with what you tell yourself when you wake up. Mornings aren't just a time of day. They are a reset, a moment of rebirth. Your brain is in a unique state, quiet, open, ready to be guided. And what you feed it in those fragile first minutes becomes your emotional fuel. But here's the truth. If you don't speak to your mind with intention, your fears will speak first. The old script will run again. The one that says, you're not enough, it's too hard, you always fail. That voice is not you, that's programming. And like any program, it can be rewritten. The way you start your day isn't about being perfect or pretending to be happy. It's about deciding who's in charge. You or your past, you or your doubt, you or the chaos around you. Each morning is a chance to step into your power before the world distracts you, before comparison steals your peace, before overwhelm steals your focus. That first breath, that first thought, it matters. It's a choice. And every day you make that choice, you strengthen your mindset, you train your emotions, and you become the architect of your future. You don't have to feel strong to speak strong. You just have to begin, because your brain is always listening. And if you feed it truth, real, empowering, soul-fueling truth, it will start to believe, it will align, it will lead you. But if you stay silent, the noise wins, the pressure wins, the fear wins. So don't wait for life to get easier. Don't wait for confidence to magically appear. Create it, build it, command it, word by word. The reason you should stay until the end of this video is because you're about to be handed a new script. 7 powerful things to tell yourself every single morning. 7 truths that will ground you, energize you, and awaken something fierce inside of you. These are not just nice phrases. They're tools, weapons, shields. And if you commit to them, they'll rewire your thinking and reshape your life. So if you're ready to take back your mornings, to take back your mind, and to start living from power instead of fear, stay with me. This morning is not just another day. It's the first day of the rest of your life. Let's begin. I'm in control of my life. Say it out loud. Feel it in your chest. Let the words settle into your body like an anchor. This is not just a statement, it's a declaration of power. For too long, you may have felt like life was happening to you, pulled by circumstances, overwhelmed by responsibilities, drifting between expectations and disappointments. But the truth is, every single day, you have choices. You have influence. You have control, not over everything, but over the most important thing, how you show up. And that one decision changes everything. Most people give their power away without even knowing it. They hand it to the opinions of others, the weight of yesterday, the fear of tomorrow. They say, I have no time, when time is created by priority. They say, I have no choice, when the greatest power they hold is choice. But not you, not today. This moment is yours. You don't need permission to own it. You don't need conditions to be perfect. You don't even need to feel ready. All you need is the decision to stop giving your energy to things that don't serve you and start investing it where it matters, into your growth, your peace, your future. Control doesn't mean force. It doesn't mean manipulating everything or being rigid. Real control is quiet. It's steady. It's the awareness that while you can't change every situation, you can always choose your response. You can choose to breathe instead of break, to rise instead of retreat, to speak truth instead of silence. That's control. That's strength. And it's already inside you. Every time you take responsibility for your reactions, you take back ground. Every time you stop blaming and start acting, you build confidence. And with confidence, everything changes. How you walk, how you think, how you speak, how you lead. You are not a passenger in your own life. You are the driver. You decide the direction. You set the pace. You control the internal environment. No matter what storms rage outside, you are not powerless unless you choose to be. And even in your weakest moments, there is still a part of you that knows how to fight, how to endure, how to rise. That part of you is awake now. Feed it. Speak to it. Strengthen it. Because the more you remind yourself that you are in control, the less you'll feel like a victim and the more you'll become a creator. This morning is your opportunity to reclaim your authority over your mind, your choices, your path. You don't need to control everything. Just start with one thing: your focus, your breath, your intention. From there, momentum builds. Action follows clarity. Power follows presence. And it all begins with one powerful reminder: I am in control of my life. Say it again, louder, stronger. Let it burn through every excuse and limitation. You were not made to shrink, you were made to lead. And your leadership begins with what you speak into existence each morning. Today, I choose courage over comfort. Let that settle in your mind like a promise. Speak it slowly, clearly, with conviction, because comfort may feel safe, but it rarely leads to greatness. Comfort keeps you quiet when you need to speak. It keeps you still when you need to move. It holds you in the familiar, even when you feel empty there. But courage is the force that opens doors. It's the breath before the leap. It's the voice that says, do it anyway, even when fear is screaming no. And today, you get to choose. Fear doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're alive. It means something matters to you. But when fear makes the decisions, you end up living a smaller life than the one you were born for. Every dream, every breakthrough, every bold change, it begins the moment you choose courage over comfort. Not once, not just in the big moments, but daily, especially in the quiet, unseen decisions. Speaking your truth when silence would be easier. Saying yes when doubt tells you to wait. Saying no when pressure demands your peace. That's courage. That's power. Comfort will try to seduce you with ease. It will tell you to stay where you are, to wait for the right time, to avoid the risk. But comfort never fulfills. It only numbs. And eventually, the pain of staying the same becomes louder than the fear of change. That's when you know it's time to rise. You don't need to eliminate fear to move forward. You just need to stop letting it vote. Let it speak, but don't let it lead. You are not your fear. You are the one who moves through it. Courage is not loud. It's not reckless. It's not about never feeling afraid. It's quiet, steady. It's making the call, taking the first step, facing the hard conversation, trying again after failing. Courage looks like doing the thing even when your hands are shaking. It looks like walking toward the unknown, trusting yourself to figure it out. And every time you do, you grow. Your confidence expands. Your identity shifts. You begin to see yourself as someone who doesn't run, someone who doesn't quit, someone who leads with strength instead of settling for safety. You don't need to feel brave to act brave. Action creates emotion. Movement creates clarity. One bold step today can change everything. Say it again. Today, I choose courage over comfort. Say it when you're tired. Say it when you're scared. Say it when staying the same feels easier. Your future self is begging you to choose boldness. The life you want doesn't exist inside your comfort zone. It waits on the other side of discomfort, risk, and relentless action. This is your moment, your turning point. Breathe in strength, breathe out doubt, step forward. You were never meant to play small. You were made to rise. And today that begins with one choice: courage. I am worthy of success, happiness, and love. Let those words settle deep into the parts of you that have forgotten. Not because you earned them, not because you proved something, but because worth is not something you chase, it's something you claim. So much of our pain comes from forgetting this truth, from believing we have to become more, achieve more, look different, be perfect, just to feel enough. But you are already enough. Right now, as you are, flawed, growing, becoming. That does not disqualify you. That makes you human, and still, you are worthy. When you don't believe in your worth, you sabotage your own growth. You push away love, question your wins, and hesitate when doors open because deep down you wonder if you deserve it. That silent doubt keeps you small. It keeps you apologizing for your ambition, dimming your light so others feel comfortable, settling for less because more feels out of reach. But that ends now. You were not put here to shrink. You are not meant to beg for scraps of joy or tiptoe around your own greatness. You are not a mistake. You are not too much. You are not falling behind. You are becoming. Owning your worth doesn't mean arrogance. It means self-respect. It means showing up for yourself like you would for someone you love. Speaking to yourself with kindness. Making decisions that protect your peace. Allowing yourself to receive what you've spent years giving to others. Grace, time, care, belief. Worthiness isn't earned in the eyes of others. It's declared in the silence of your own soul. And when you stop trying to prove yourself and start choosing yourself, everything begins to shift. You move different, you speak different, you stop chasing and start attracting. Every time you affirm your worth, you strengthen the part of you that refuses to settle, the part that knows you are made for more. And the more you speak it, the more your mind begins to align. You begin to make decisions from power, not desperation. You begin to believe that you don't have to chase love, you are love. You don't have to chase validation, you are already enough. And when that belief takes root, your entire reality begins to change. You stop waiting for someone to choose you and start choosing yourself. Say it again. I am worthy of success, happiness, and love. Say it when you doubt yourself. Say it when your past tries to whisper otherwise. Say it when life tests your confidence. Your worth is not up for debate. It is your foundation. Build on it. Rise with it. Let it guide the way you move, the way you love, the way you dream. Because when you finally believe you are worthy, you stop asking for permission and start living in purpose. And that right there is the shift that changes everything. I am not my past. I am not my mistakes. I am not the version of myself that didn't know better, didn't do better, or didn't feel strong enough to change. You are not defined by what hurt you, what broke you, or what you wish you could go back and undo. The past is not your identity. It's a chapter, not the whole story. And the more you carry it with shame or regret, the more you limit who you can become. Let that sink in. You don't owe your future to your former self. You owe it to the person you're becoming. There is no freedom without forgiveness. And the most powerful forgiveness is the one you give yourself for staying too long, for not speaking up, for letting fear win, for hiding your truth. But here's the truth you need to hold on to now. You were doing the best you could with what you knew at the time. Now you know more. Now you see more. And now you get to move differently. Growth isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just a quiet decision to not carry guilt into another day, to draw a line between who you were and who you choose to be now. Every time you let the past define you, you rob yourself of the present moment's power. You shrink under old labels, you hesitate because of old patterns. But patterns are not prisons. They're just evidence of repetition. And repetition can be broken. The human brain is wired for change. You're not stuck because you're broken. You're stuck because you've repeated a belief for so long it feels like truth. But the second you question it, the second you declare that you are not your past, you open space for a new future to unfold. This is not about ignoring what happened. It's about deciding that it no longer controls you. You've been through pain, but you are not pain. You've experienced failure, but you are not a failure. You've been wounded, but you are not weak. You are healing, you are learning, you are evolving. And that evolution starts with what you tell yourself each morning. Speak life into your identity. Speak vision into your future. Say with clarity, I am not my past. Watch how everything begins to shift when you let go of what no longer serves you. You begin to act from your highest self, not your wounded self. You begin to trust yourself again. You take risks not to escape your past, but to build a future worth living for. No more looking back with shame. Look back with gratitude for the lessons, the growth, the resilience you gained. Then turn forward, head high, heart open, and speak your new truth into existence. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. And today, you choose freedom. Today, you choose to rise. Today, you choose to live unchained. Everything I need is already within me. Let that truth settle into the deepest part of your being. The strength you've been searching for, the clarity you've been craving, the resilience you think only others have. It's already there, buried beneath the noise, waiting behind the doubts. The world may have taught you to look outward for answers, to depend on approval, to seek validation from things that are temporary and fragile. But your power isn't outside of you. It never was. It's in your breath, your heart, your spirit. It's in your decision to trust yourself, even when everything feels uncertain. You were not made to live begging for confidence, chasing self-worth like it's something that can be given to you. You were created to stand grounded in your own truth, to face the unknown with the quiet fire of someone who remembers who they are. And yes, life tries to make you forget. Pain clouds your vision. Failure shakes your belief. Fear whispers lies. But no storm can take what was built into your soul, your instincts, your wisdom, your voice. You don't need more to begin. You need less doubt, less delay, less dependence on what was never meant to complete you. You are the source. The moment you stop waiting for something or someone to save you and realize you already have the tools to rebuild, everything changes. You stop asking, can I? And start declaring, I will. Because deep down, you've already survived the hardest days. You've already climbed out of dark places no one saw. You've already carried weights most would have dropped. That kind of strength doesn't disappear. It doesn't leave you. It lives in you. And the more you speak to it, the more it awakens. You don't need to know the whole path to take the first step. You don't need to have all the answers to move forward. You just need to remember that you have everything required for this moment. Your mind, your soul, your hunger. That's enough. And the beautiful part, as you walk forward, the rest begins to show up. The clarity comes through action. The confidence builds through repetition. The strength multiplies through challenge. But it all starts with one truth: you are already equipped. Say it again. Everything I need is already within me. Say it until you feel the shift. Say it until your inner voice gets louder than the fear. Say it until you stop waiting and start doing. This isn't about hype. This is about identity. When you believe you are the source, you stop settling. You stop searching for what you already have. You start creating from wholeness. And that's the kind of power no one can take. Own it. Feed it. Walk with it. You are not missing anything. You are becoming everything. And it starts with believing that you already are. I am becoming the person I was always meant to be. Let those words echo in your mind until they cut through the noise of doubt, fear, and hesitation. This journey you're on isn't about becoming someone new. It's about peeling away everything that was never truly you. The masks, the limitations, the beliefs that were handed to you but never chosen by you. Growth is not about adding more to yourself. It's about coming home to your real self. The version of you that isn't driven by fear or approval. The version that already knows what matters. That version is waiting. You are not lost. You are unfolding. Becoming takes time and it rarely feels comfortable. Growth often looks like falling apart before it looks like rising. It feels messy before it feels clear. But don't mistake discomfort for failure. Don't mistake delay for denial. You are in motion even when it feels like you're standing still. Every hard decision, every quiet act of discipline, every moment you choose to keep going is shaping you, refining you, reconnecting you with your power. This is the becoming. And every step you take, no matter how small, is proof that you're not who you used to be. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to stay in the process. The moment you stop trying to arrive and start trusting where you are, you create space for change to take root. Real transformation isn't loud. It doesn't always come with applause. Often it's silent. It's you choosing better thoughts when the old ones creep in. It's you getting back up when no one's watching. It's you refusing to quit on yourself. That's where your power is. That's where your identity begins to shift. You were never meant to stay small. You were meant to evolve, to rise through resistance, to grow through challenge. And every time you act in alignment with who you want to become, you cast a vote for that version of you. The more votes you cast, the more real it becomes. This isn't about faking it. It's about choosing it over and over again. Until one day you don't have to try so hard to be that person because you already are. And even now, even in the moments you doubt it, that future version of you is cheering you on. Say it with certainty: I am becoming the person I was always meant to be. You don't need anyone else to validate that. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You just need to keep showing up. Keep trusting the process. Keep believing that you were not created to stay stuck. You were created to evolve, to rise, to return to your highest self. And every day you speak these words, you bring that version closer. Let them become your truth. Let them become your identity. You are not who you were. You are who you are becoming. And that person is powerful. Today is a gift, and I will treat it like one. This moment, this breath, this chance, you only get it once. Not 1 second of today will ever return. And yet, how often do we waste it waiting for the perfect time, replaying old regrets, or letting fear paralyze us? The truth is, today doesn't owe you anything. It's not promised, it's not guaranteed, but it's here. And what you do with it is the difference between a life that's lived and a life that's watched from the sidelines. The power of today lies in your hands. The question is, what will you do with it? You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to wait for motivation. You need to wake up and choose presence, choose effort, choose life. Because every day you delay your dreams, you delay your purpose. And the longer you wait, the heavier regret becomes. Regret is the price we pay for hesitation. But discipline, focus, and bold action, those are the seeds of freedom. Every time you honor the gift of today, you build a future that reflects your strength. And when you stop taking this moment for granted, you start to live with intention, with urgency, with meaning. Don't wait for life to shake you awake. Don't wait for the storm to force change. Decide now that today matters. Decide now that this morning will not slip through your fingers like all the others. You don't have to do everything, but you have to do something. Take the next right step. Speak the truth you've been holding back. Move your body, feed your mind, guard your peace, make the call, take the leap. The smallest action done today beats the perfect plan delayed for tomorrow. Gratitude is not passive. It's not just words. It's how you show up. It's how you choose to respond when life gets hard. It's how you look at a new day and say, I won't waste this. You were given breath, and that breath carries responsibility. The responsibility to grow, to give, to create, to become. So don't let distractions steal this gift. Don't let the pressure of the future rob you of what's in front of you. The present is where life happens. The present is where change begins. You've been given time, and time is the most valuable currency you'll ever hold. More valuable than money, more powerful than talent. What you do with it defines everything. Every great transformation, every new path, every breakthrough. It begins on a day just like this. It begins with someone deciding they won't waste another sunrise. Make that decision. Own this day. Feel the power of presence in your hands. And say with full intention, today is a gift and I will treat it like one. Let those words become your compass. Let them remind you that life is not found in the distant future. It's found right here, right now. And today is the only day that matters. I will not let fear control my choices. Say that to yourself as the day begins and feel the power shift inside you. Fear is not truth. Fear is not instinct. Fear is a voice that lies, that exaggerates, that tries to protect you by limiting you. But you were not created to live behind a wall of what ifs. You were not made to shrink every time uncertainty appears. Fear may show up, but it doesn't have to stay. It doesn't have to speak for you. And it definitely doesn't get to decide your future. Most people don't fail because they weren't capable. They fail because fear convinced them they weren't ready. Fear told them the risk was too high, that others would laugh, that they'd fall and never recover. So they waited, and the wait turned into months, then years, then regret. Don't let that be your story. Fear will always find a reason to stop you. Courage is the choice to move anyway. Not without fear, but beyond it, through it. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to stop letting fear make your decisions. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you weaken fear's grip. Every time you take a step despite the shaking, you build evidence that you are stronger than your doubts. And the more evidence you gather, the more your mind begins to change. That's how transformation works, from the inside out, one decision at a time. No one is coming to erase the fear for you, but you can stand up to it. You can call it what it is, a signal, not a sentence. It's your mind trying to protect you from the unknown. But you already know what staying stuck feels like. It's time to find out what's on the other side. What if your next move changed everything? What if the door you're afraid to knock on is the one that leads to your purpose? What if the voice of fear isn't warning you but challenging you to rise? The truth is, fear is often a sign you're heading in the right direction. Not because it's easy, but because it matters. You don't fear what doesn't matter. You fear what has the power to stretch you, awaken you, grow you. And that is exactly what you came here to do. Speak it clearly. I will not let fear control my choices. Let that become your armor. Let it echo in your mind when the doubts come back, when the path gets unclear, when it feels safer to stay small. Your life is too important to be ruled by fear. Your dreams are too sacred to be delayed by hesitation. You've waited long enough. You've questioned long enough. Now it's time to trust, time to act, time to lead, not with fear, but with intention, with courage, with heart. You don't have to know how it all ends. You just need to begin. Let fear follow if it must, but make sure you're the one leading. I am responsible for my own happiness. Say it slowly and let it sink in. No one else holds the key to your joy. No one else controls how fulfilled, content, or alive you feel. The power to choose happiness rests entirely within you. It's easy to blame circumstances, people, or past pain for how you feel, but doing so only hands your power away. Happiness is not a prize to be won or a destination to reach. It is a daily choice, a mindset, a way of seeing yourself and the world around you. You may have been conditioned to think happiness depends on conditions, getting that job, finding that person, earning that money, or avoiding that pain. But those are illusions. True happiness is not tied to external things, because external things can change or disappear without warning. Real happiness is found when you decide to stop waiting for life to be perfect and start appreciating life as it is. It is found when you take responsibility for your emotional state and refuse to let it be hostage to what happens outside you. This responsibility isn't a burden, it's freedom. It means you don't have to wait for someone else to make you feel worthy, loved, or successful. You don't have to rely on external validation to wake up with purpose. When you own your happiness, you reclaim your power. You step off the roller coaster of highs and lows and find a steady strength inside. You become the author of your own emotional experience, not a victim to it. Every morning, remind yourself that you are in control of how you feel. Not perfectly, not without struggle, but with commitment. The commitment to focus on what nourishes your soul, to let go of what drains it, to set boundaries that protect your peace, to practice gratitude even when life feels unfair, to seek growth over comfort. Happiness isn't a feeling that magically appears. It's a muscle you build by choosing thoughts and actions that serve your well-being. When you accept responsibility for your happiness, you stop giving away your energy to things you cannot control. You stop letting disappointment and frustration rule your days. You start looking for joy in the ordinary and meaning in the difficult. This mindset shift changes everything. It turns challenges into lessons, failures into feedback, and setbacks into setup for comebacks. The power of this choice is undeniable. It rewires your brain to see possibilities instead of problems, hope instead of despair, strength instead of weakness. Say it clearly, I am responsible for my own happiness. Speak it when life feels heavy. Speak it when you want to blame or complain. Speak it to remind yourself that you are the source of your own light. It is within you to choose joy, peace, and love every day. Own that truth. Let it guide your thoughts, your decisions, your interactions. Happiness is not waiting for you at the end of some distant road. It is found here, now, in the way you decide to live today. Claim it, cherish it, live it. I will embrace discomfort because growth lives there. Understand this deeply. Comfort is the enemy of progress. It lulls you into a false sense of security, convincing you that staying where you are is safe, smart, even necessary. But comfort is the cage that keeps your dreams small and your potential hidden. Every step towards something new, something better, demands you step into discomfort. It demands courage, persistence, and a willingness to be vulnerable. When you embrace discomfort, you embrace growth. You embrace the life you are meant to live. The truth is, change never feels easy. It never feels safe. It shakes the foundation of what you know, what you trust, what you believe about yourself. That shaking is uncomfortable. It creates resistance inside your mind and body. But that resistance is a sign that you are moving forward. It means you are breaking old patterns and stepping into a higher version of yourself. If you avoid discomfort, you avoid growth. And if you avoid growth, you avoid becoming who you truly are. The people who achieve greatness aren't those who avoid pain or struggle. They are the ones who use discomfort as a tool. They lean into the hard days. They keep going when their body screams to stop. They choose to stay committed when everything inside tells them to quit. That is where transformation happens, not in the easy moments, but in the moments when you decide to stay, to push, to try again. Discomfort is not a signal to retreat, it is a signal to advance. Reframe your mindset. Discomfort is your ally. It is proof you are expanding your limits. It is the fire that forges resilience. Each time you sit with unease without running away, you build mental toughness. You strengthen your belief in yourself. You teach your brain that it can handle more. And over time, what once felt unbearable becomes a stepping stone. What once seemed impossible becomes routine. This is the power of embracing discomfort. It rewires your brain to welcome challenges instead of fearing them. Repeat this to yourself each morning. I will embrace discomfort because growth lives there. Let it be your anchor when fear tries to pull you back. Let it be your reminder that the uneasy feeling in your chest is the birthplace of your future success. When you stop avoiding what's hard, You begin to unlock parts of yourself you didn't know existed. You start showing up stronger, wiser, and more capable every day. And with every brave choice, you rewrite the story of what is possible for you. Know this, discomfort is temporary, but the rewards it brings are lasting. It builds confidence that no easy victory can. It creates courage that no comfort can buy. So lean into the unknown. Step toward the edges that scare you. Feel the discomfort, but don't let it stop you. Your greatest growth is waiting for you there. You have everything you need to face it. You are ready. Embrace discomfort. Own your transformation. Become unstoppable. I deserve patience and grace as I grow. Recognize this truth with your whole being, because too often we are the harshest critics of ourselves. We demand instant results, flawless progress, and unwavering strength. We expect perfection in every step, forgetting that growth is a process, not a race. You are allowed to be imperfect. You are allowed to stumble. You are allowed to feel uncertain and vulnerable. Holding yourself with patience and grace is not weakness. It is the foundation of lasting transformation. Growth asks for time. It asks for persistence in the face of setbacks. It asks for kindness when progress feels slow or invisible. Imagine what would happen if you treated yourself with the same compassion you offer to others. If you silenced the inner voice that says you're not enough and instead whispered encouragement, you would create space to learn, to heal, and to rise. Without patience, frustration takes over. Without grace, guilt and shame settle in. Both are thieves of progress, keeping you stuck in cycles of doubt and defeat. Patience is the quiet strength that keeps you moving when motivation fades. Grace is the gentle reminder that you are human, worthy of love and forgiveness, especially from yourself. When you embrace these qualities, you release the burden of needing to have it all figured out. You stop punishing yourself for mistakes or slow progress. You start seeing growth as a journey that unfolds naturally, with peaks and valleys, twists and turns. This shift opens you up to true resilience, the ability to keep going without losing your peace. Say to yourself, I deserve patience and grace as I grow. Let these words settle deep within. Let them soften the edges of your self-criticism and harden your resolve to keep going. When you encounter resistance, remind yourself that lasting change is built on small, steady steps, not sudden leaps. When setbacks come, meet them with kindness, not judgment. When your progress seems invisible, trust the process. Every day you show up for yourself, even imperfectly, you are planting seeds for a stronger, wiser you. Understand that growth is not linear. It is a spiral, circling back over lessons until they are fully learned. You will face the same fears, doubts, and challenges more than once. That is not failure, it is practice. Practice that builds mastery. The more patient and gentle you are with yourself, the more you free your mind and heart to embrace growth fully. This self-compassion fuels persistence, creativity, and courage. It helps you bounce back faster and move forward with renewed energy. You don't have to rush. You don't have to be flawless. You just have to be willing to keep showing up, to give yourself permission to be human, to honor your own pace. When you accept this, you create a powerful foundation for transformation. You move from a place of harshness and fear into one of love and strength. You become unstoppable. Not because you are perfect, but because you are persistent, patient, and full of grace. You deserve that. You are worthy of that. So choose it now. Own it fully. Let it guide your every step forward. I have the power to choose my attitude today. This simple truth holds a profound weight. No matter what happens around you, the way you respond is always your choice. Life will bring challenges, frustrations, setbacks, and disappointments. These are unavoidable. But your attitude, the lens through which you view every moment, can transform those obstacles into opportunities or let them crush your spirit. When you claim the power to choose your attitude, you reclaim control over your experience. You become the master of your emotions, not their victim. Attitude is more than just mood or outlook. It's a conscious decision to approach life with resilience, hope, and strength. It's choosing optimism when negativity wants to take over. It's seeing lessons where others see failures. It's maintaining faith in yourself when the world feels against you. This choice rewires your brain. Science shows that people who cultivate a positive, proactive attitude experience better health, deeper relationships, and greater success. Your attitude shapes your reality far more than your circumstances do. No one else can decide how you show up today. You don't have to wait for motivation, inspiration, or permission. You have the ability right now to choose energy over exhaustion, courage over fear, focus over distraction. When you wake up and declare you will choose your attitude, you send a powerful message to your subconscious. You are in charge. You won't let external chaos dictate your inner peace. You won't allow temporary setbacks to define your identity. You will keep moving forward, fueled by an unshakable mindset. Every morning, remind yourself, I have the power to choose my attitude today. Let this become your daily armor against negativity and doubt. When frustration threatens to consume you, repeat it. When fear tries to freeze you, repeat it. When distractions pull you off course, repeat it. This affirmation strengthens your mental muscles. It trains your brain to seek solutions instead of problems, progress instead of excuses, growth instead of stagnation. Over time, this small but consistent practice builds a mindset that no hardship can break. Choosing your attitude is an act of courage and self-respect. It is a refusal to be defined by circumstances beyond your control. It is a declaration that your spirit is stronger than any obstacle. It also sets the tone for your actions because your attitude colors everything you do. When you decide to be positive, determined, and proactive, you create momentum. Momentum that propels you toward your goals and dreams even on the hardest days. You become a force of nature, unstoppable because your power comes from within. Remember, attitude is a daily choice, not a one-time decision. It requires practice, awareness, and commitment. But the reward is immeasurable. A life lived on your terms, filled with resilience, hope, and purpose. So every morning, say it with conviction, I have the power to choose my attitude today. Own this truth. Let it ignite your spirit and guide your actions. Your attitude is your superpower. Use it wisely. Use it boldly. Use it to create the life you deserve. I will focus on what I can control and release what I cannot. This commitment frees you from the endless cycle of worry, frustration, and helplessness that drains your energy and clouds your mind. Too often, we waste precious moments agonizing over things beyond our reach, other people's actions, uncontrollable events, outcomes uncertain and unpredictable. But peace, power, and progress come only when you train your mind to distinguish between what is within your control and what is not. You cannot change the past, you cannot command the reactions of others, and you cannot predict the future perfectly. But you can control your thoughts, your choices, your effort, and your attitude. This distinction is not just practical, it is transformative. When you focus on what you can control, you reclaim your agency. You become an active participant in your life, not a victim of circumstances. This shift rewires your brain, reducing anxiety and increasing resilience. Your energy is no longer scattered chasing impossibilities, but concentrated on real actions that move you forward. Every great achievement, every breakthrough starts with mastering this focus, directing your effort where it matters most. Let go of the illusion that controlling everything is possible or necessary. Holding on tightly to what you cannot change only creates stress and stagnation. It limits your vision and traps you in a cycle of doubt. Instead, choose clarity. Choose to see clearly what is yours to influence and what must be released. This clarity brings peace, it calms the restless mind, it opens space for creativity, courage, and calm action. When you no longer fight the uncontrollable, you conserve strength to face challenges with sharper focus and steadier resolve. Each morning, remind yourself, I will focus on what I can control and release what I cannot. Let this mantra be your anchor amid chaos and uncertainty. When fear tries to pull you into the unknown, repeat it. When frustration clouds your judgment, repeat it. When doubt threatens to paralyze you, repeat it. This practice trains your mind to return to calm focus, to energy that builds rather than dissipates. Over time, it becomes second nature. You respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. You move steadily instead of spinning in confusion. This mindset also nurtures forgiveness of others, of circumstances, and most importantly, of yourself. When you accept that some things are beyond your control, you stop blaming yourself for outcomes you cannot change. You release guilt and resentment that weigh down your spirit. Forgiveness becomes a natural result of this acceptance, freeing you to move forward with lighter steps and a clearer heart. It is not a surrender, but a strategic choice to invest your energy wisely. You are powerful when you focus on your choices, your effort, your mindset. You are free when you release the impossible to change. Let this truth guide your mornings and your actions. Let it be the foundation of your peace and your progress. Own your power by focusing on what you can control, and watch how your life shifts from chaos to clarity, from overwhelm to unstoppable momentum. This is how transformation begins, with focus, release, and unwavering commitment to the present moment.